Oscar Isaac says shooting Star Wars 9 is looser than previous films. Oh yeah, it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're listening to Ethan Van Sciver, world's most charming man, great big Star Wars fan. Here's Collider, the yellow snow of yellow journalism. Good to be here, visiting Collider. They are acting, of course, in this case, as merely a capillary. The artery is the Daily Beast. So the Daily Beast, by the way, sinister, evil website, far left-wing website, sat down with Oscar Isaac, who plays Poe Dameron, the least interesting Star Wars character of all time, and proceeds to ask him about all things not really relevant to anything anybody cares about Oscar Isaac's views on. Donald Trump, is he destroying America? Yeah, we'll ask him that. Kathleen Kennedy, is she destroying Star Wars? Hell no, let's not ask him that. Instead, let's touch on Star Wars a little bit, and that's why all of these little capillary, pop culture garbage tier websites like Collider, CBR, Comic Book /Star Wars, Movie Web, Screen Rant, they're all going to write articles based off of those, that one singular article. Now, I am the knife, the very sharp knife that's going to slit all of these things wide open and let it bleed out. That's what Comic Artist Pro Secrets is. This is garbage. Oscar Isaac says shooting Star Wars 9 is looser than the previous films. That is fine. That sort of laxative action is taking place only because J.J. Abrams has a script that he's not requiring these fake-ass Star Wars actors to adhere to. They are allowed to improvise. We've already done, I think we did a video on that already. Star Wars 9 is going to be the most improvised Star Wars film of all time because J.J. Abrams, I guess he wrote something and then he kind of shrugged and said, do you think you can do better? And of course, all of these clowns think they can do better. So we're going to have a lot of Brando. We're going to have a lot of miniature Marlon Brando moments here, I suspect. And it is going to be very, very, very strange. But whatever. Also, talks about Leia's presence. Leia is not present in this movie. Leia is played, of course, by Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher passed on earlier. I think, was it this year? It was this year. We lost Carrie Fisher. It's a great big loss for Star Wars fans, an enormous loss. And we hold her memory in reverence. She is in this movie, in my opinion, non-consensually. They just got some footage of her that they're going to shoehorn into this film, much like Ed Wood shoehorned Bela Lugosi in his epic an actual cult favorite film, unlike Solo, Plan 9 from Outer Space. So, he died, we've got some footage of him, let's just sort of write a movie around this footage. That's what they're doing with footage left over from The Force Awakens and also the Rian Johnson catastrophe, Star Wars The Last Jedi. So, Leia's going to be in it. They're all going to act like they can feel her in it. Let's find out what Poe Dameron has to say. So, a few years ago, when production was underway on Star Wars The Force Awakens, the first new Star Wars movie in over a decade, and the first one made without the creative involvement of George Lucas, everything was secret and deadly serious. There was an intensity to the production, given the weight of what they were trying to pull off, and all involved were able to breathe a sigh of relief when the film ended up being a crowd-pleasing hit. Well, I mean, that's your opinion. I'm not sure that it pleased the crowds. They were morbidly curious about the film. They showed up to see it. All of them went away sickened, except for Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, who actually still says he kind of liked it, I think. I don't know, he kind of goes back and forth on that, frankly. Now, as filming is underway on the final installment of this new trilogy, the vibe on the set of Star Wars 9 is very different. Well, that's what happens after Rian Johnson ruins the middle piece in the trilogy. The vibe's going to be different. It's not going to be deadly serious. It's not going to be a lot of people working really hard to make something really good. It's going to be a whole lot of people just going, well, whatever. I mean, if it works, it works. And what do you want to add to this? It's a big game of stone soup at this point. Speaking with the Daily Beast, by the way, the Daily Beast, I'm a beast every second at Comic Artist Pro Secrets. You're welcome. Oscar Isaac reiterated earlier comments that the set of Star Wars Episode 9 is very loose and freewheeling. noting that it almost feels like everyone has senioritis. Again, get ready. Still, he says, compared to the first two installments, there's a looseness and an energy to the way we're shooting this that feels very different. It's been really fun being back with JJ, with all of us working in a really close way. I just feel like there's an element of almost senioritis, you know? He laughs. Since everything just feels way looser and people aren't taking it quite as seriously, but still just having a lot of fun. I think that energy is going to translate to a really great movie. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I think it's going to translate to a catastrophe, and that is my personal opinion. But I'm still excited to see this movie because I feel the same way about it as Isaac does here. Oscar Isaac is talking about how nobody really cares that much. They're just goofing off and having fun. That is what J.J. Abrams is doing. He is going to pull all remaining elements, living elements of the Star Wars movies together in one big film. It is going to be like a variety show in the 1970s. It's going to be ridiculous, and I can't wait to see it with you guys. But there's one major aspect of Episode 9 that is quite serious, and that's the character of Leia. Sadly, actress Carrie Fisher passed before she can complete her work on this trilogy. I think she completed it, frankly. I think she did everything she could. I think, honestly, they should have just, left her in the opening crawl. General Leia, since that's so important to feminists, died in an explosion somewhere, and she's not going to be in this movie. But no, they can't. They can't just leave well enough alone. Alright, so Carrie Fisher passed before she could finish her work on the trilogy, but director J.J. Abrams announced that he wouldn't leave well enough alone, and the character would be, in fact, returning for Episode 9 via some unused footage from The Force Awakens, and also The Last Jedi. Do not lie about that. He's already said it's going to be Force Awakens stuff, and he's dealing with Rian Johnson. So, by the way, is Rian Johnson going to get a co-creative, something like co-director credit for this? You're using footage that Rian Johnson directed. I insist that he get a credit for this film. Isaac spoke of it about Fisher's absence and how the film deals with Leia. Alright, the story. Let's see what he has to say about this, because this is the first comments. These are the first comments that any cast member has made about what Princess Leia is going. General Leia is doing in this film. The story deals with that quite a bit, he says. It's a strange thing to be on the set and to be speaking of Leia and having Carrie not be around. There's definitely some pain in that. It deals with the amazing character that Carrie created in a really beautiful way. I am scared. This is the first time I've actually felt afraid of what they're going to do with this footage. It deals with it in a really beautiful way. It'll certainly be interesting to see how Fisher's presence or absence is dealt with in this film. Did she say, did Carrie Fisher say that this was okay with her? I guess her family has to give permission for this. I know Todd Fisher initially was told by J.J. Abrams that Carrie Fisher's this footage was going to be included in the movie. And then Cray KK actually came out and called him crazy and said, no, I think he's confused. Todd Fisher is confused. Todd Fisher somehow knew more about this movie and what J.J. Abrams was going to be doing with this movie than Cray KK, which is not a surprise considering the fact that Solo was 85% complete by the original two directors, Lord and Miller, before Kathleen Kennedy was even fully aware of what the movie was shaping up to be. She fired them and then had Ron Howard finish it. So none of this is surprising. Kathleen Kennedy is somebody who is not watching the ball, has no idea what's going on at all. So, it'll be interesting. I'm sure she's not even quite sure of what they're going to do with this General Leia footage. I'm sure she's been put in the corner somewhere, figurehead, etc., etc. Don't scare away Fox. All right, so I'm sure we'll get our first peek early next year when the trailer for Star Wars Episode 9 is expected to drop. I wonder if they'll actually show Leia in that. I mean, it's the Super Bowl footage. Apparently, they're gonna be showing. The first trailer, the first teaser for Star Wars Episode 9 and the Super Bowl. I'm anxious to see it. I really, really am. I think this movie is going to be so weird. I think it's going to be weirder than the holiday special. I'm actually really, truly anticipating this thing. Much more so than The Last Jedi. Is that Rose Tico back there? Wait. Is that Rose Tico back there? Hey, I've got a new YouTube channel. All Caps Comics. All comic book content. Go subscribe right now. Thanks very much. Hey, want to follow me on Twitter? Okay, cool. I'm at Ethan Van Sciver. Talk to you there. Show your friends you support independent comics while showing the world who you back in the fight against the swarm with the brand new Cyberfrog t-shirt from Crypto Fashion and Comic Artist Pro Secret. Sizes come in small to 5XL, and take your choice of colors between navy blue, white, and black. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and order the Fandom Menace, Go Get Daddy's Belt, Tico, and Soilo t-shirts as well. Link is below in the description. You're going to look great. People love these shirts. They fit wonderfully. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video and want to become part of this community, subscribe to this channel by clicking the laughing man face logo right on your screen. Ring the bell for notifications as well. You'll never miss a live chat. And stay tuned, another video by Comic Artist Pro Secrets is coming right up.